Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're thrilled to have you for one of our IACAC programs. So on behalf of IACAC, or the Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan, I want to welcome you all tonight. Before we get started, I just have a couple of housekeeping things to point out to you all as you participate in this program. We cannot see or hear you. So as a participant, your video and your audio are off. So if you have a question, please use the Q&A function at the bottom of the screen. That'll be the easiest way to catch the attention of the presenters this evening. The recordings for these are going to be available in about a week or so on the IACAC website. So that's iacac.org. And that's also where you'll find the list of the remaining presentations taking place this week and next. So that's all of the housekeeping for tonight. Enjoy the presentation. I'm going to hand it off to Kat.
Thanks, Megan. Let me get my screen shared here. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming and learning a little bit more about why you should consider a Catholic liberal arts institution, even if you're not Catholic. We have a wonderful panel today. My name is Catherine Hankamp. I'm the Chicago Regional Counselor for St. Norbert College, which is located in De Pere, Wisconsin. And with me, we have Jill Holubetz from St. Ambrose University in Davenport, Iowa. We have Brenda Jones from St. Mary's University in Winona, Minnesota. And we also have our kicking it off for us, Cara Firestein from St. Mary's College in Notre Dame, Indiana.
Hello, everyone. So as Kat stated, we'll be kicking off the presentation today, and we are going to do so by talking about what a Catholic college can offer you. So as someone who has worked for a Catholic institution for 4+ years now, I know that sometimes there is a misconception about Catholic institutions that you can only attend a Catholic college or university if you're Catholic. And I speak on behalf of all 4 of our institutions today when I say that we absolutely welcome students from all faith backgrounds and experiences to our campus. I can attest to this because I myself attended a Catholic liberal arts institution, even though I'm not Catholic. So the institution that I attended is actually St. Mary's, where I am an admission counselor now. And as you might guess, given the fact that I graduated from St. Mary's and then never left, my St. Mary's experience was incredible. And it honestly was the perfect fit for me. And you know, I think that it is important to talk about why that is. So as I stated, even though I'm not Catholic, I attended St. Mary's my entire life. I had attended co-ed public schools, and then I decided to consider St. Mary's. And I will be honest, at first I was a little bit nervous about what it would be like to be someone who's not Catholic at a Catholic institution. But the more that I learned about St. Mary's, the more that I fell in love with St. Mary's. And when I look back on my experience as a prospective student trying to make my college decision, I realized that many of the things that I loved most about St. Mary's and attracted me most to St. Mary's were things that really can be attributed back to the fact that it is a Catholic liberal arts institution. So whether you are like me and you're not Catholic, but maybe you've heard of some Catholic institutions that you think could be a good fit for you, or you are Catholic, but you've never attended a Catholic school before and you're considering a Catholic college, or maybe you're Catholic, you've gone to Catholic schools before, and you are considering the possibility of continuing at a Catholic college, you know, whatever brought you here this evening, we're just so excited to be able to share what a Catholic college can offer you. So we're going to go ahead and move right on into the slides with that. Oh, sorry, Kat, back one. Thanks. So what a Catholic college can offer you. So as I just stated, regardless of faith background, we provide an environment for our students that they will be able to learn and grow in an inclusive campus community. Catholic colleges also do tend to have a very strong sense of community, and we're going to talk about this more in the presentation later today. Secondly, Catholic colleges have a really long history of academic excellence. Catholic faith really values education, And many Catholic colleges and universities in our country have been around for decades and decades. They have a long history of educating students. And when you think about the fact that they've been around for as long as many of them have, that must mean that they educate students well and have been committed to academic excellence for a long time. So you get that piece too. They also really value lifelong learning. So not just teaching you to learn in those 4 years, but helping you to become someone who will learn and grow all throughout your lifetime. Catholic colleges are also really well known for helping students to reflect critically, not just in the classroom, but on the world around them. So we really do help our students to have deep and meaningful conversations in the classroom and outside of the classroom as well. And we'll talk more about that today. There's also a large emphasis at Catholic colleges on social justice. And at Catholic institutions, we really believe on developing the whole person. So not just helping you to get a job one day, but really helping you to grow as an individual. And this brings us to the mission and values of Catholic institutions. So I think it is important when we're talking about Catholic colleges and universities to address this piece. The mission and values of Catholic institutions is incredibly important to the identity of each Catholic institution. Catholic colleges are truly mission-driven institutions that provide students with a holistic college experience. So what does this mean? Catholic colleges and universities all have mission statements. And one of the things that I loved most about my Catholic liberal arts experience was that I felt that the entire campus community really believed in the mission statement of the college and worked towards, creating a campus community that was the mission. And it was really great to be able to feel that on the campus. But we did want to address some common core values of Catholic institutions. So if you were to go right now, not right now, after the presentation, and do some research, look into the core values of a variety of different Catholic institutions around the country, you might find that there are some commonalities between their core values. So, what are some of those common core values? One is learning. Of course, we are institutions of higher education, so learning is important to us. But at Catholic institutions, I really think that there's a deeper meaning to learning. We are committed to academic excellence and to fostering environments where all members of the campus community can learn and grow from one another. And we really do value lifelong learning. Community, so that is also something that is very important on our campuses. Inclusivity, so we are committed to an inclusive campus community. And then faith and spirituality. Of course, as Catholic institutions, there is going to be, that core value of faith and spirituality. But I think it's important to talk about what that means. So I speak on behalf of all 4 of our institutions when I say that during your time on our campuses, your faith and spiritual life will be up to you. It's up to you to decide how much you want to get involved in your faith life on campus. It is important when you're looking at different Catholic institutions to ask them, what are the requirements on your campus in terms of faith and spirituality. But on all 4 of our campuses, you're not required a certain number of hours of mass time or chapel time. It's truly up to you to determine how you want to live out your faith and spirituality during your college years. We'll give you all the tools to do so, but it's up to you to decide, how much or how little you'd like to get involved in that aspect. And then justice is another core value at Catholic institutions, and we'll talk more about in the presentation as well. So now I'm going to pass it back over to Kat to talk about the benefits of the liberal arts education.
Thanks, Cara. So the other aspect of obviously a Catholic liberal arts institution, that liberal arts, what does liberal actually mean in liberal arts? And let's not think politics. I think that's where our minds first tend to go. But what that liberal actually means is it's reflecting on that freedom and unrestriction to study and increase your knowledge and your skills. And really, again, hitting home that learning for the sake of learning. That's what we want you to kind of experience on at our institutions, at liberal arts schools. So how do we get to that aspect of it? It's really, you're going to take a lot of classes in a wide variety of subjects. You're not going to come in and you may come in with a particular major, but no matter what your major is, what you declare that, throughout your 4 years, you're going to take a number of courses in the natural sciences, so a biology or chemistry, environmental science, something like that. Humanities are really big, so those English, history, philosophy, theology, languages that we're going to have you take. Social sciences, so psychology, sociology, maybe some communications and media studies type courses. And of course, the arts, so drawing, painting, music, theater, things like that, that are going to be, more than just sitting and writing papers. So that's really kind of the neat thing about your experience, is that you're not just focused in on your one particular major. You're taking classes in a number of different subject areas. So this can actually be really helpful for you if you are undecided. It gives you kind of the freedom to, in your first 2 years, explore different majors by taking classes in areas that you might be interested in before you actually declare your major. Many schools, it's typically those first 2 years you have those opportunities to do that, and are working closely with advisors to help make that happen. Another aspect, and probably the biggest reason why the liberal arts, what we do is developing skills that are going to transcend any career path you go down. We want you to develop the ability to think critically, to analyze and evaluate issues, and come up and form your own thoughts and judgments on those. To problem solve. What is the problem that you have? Identify that, but then also solve that. What is the issue and how do you finish that out? Communicate effectively. So like I mentioned in those humanities, you're going to have the opportunity to write a lot and have intensive writing type courses. You're going to develop your presentation skills in a lot of your classes, giving presentations, and you're going to be able to communicate with people that are, above you. So for example, your professors in classes, how to communicate with them via email, phone, and even obviously in class. Another aspect of that too is leadership skills. So this is something that I always say is not necessarily something you get in the classroom. It is definitely outside of the classroom, but you're going to hold the opportunity to, or have the opportunity to maybe hold a position in clubs or organization, like the president of of a sorority or fraternity. These are all opportunities for you to develop leadership skills that you really kind of hammer home during your experience. At a small liberal arts colleges like all of ours, you're going to be in a small classroom. Average for us is around 19 to 20. And what this really does is create an environment where it's, even if it's considered a lecture, it's very discussion based that you get. So you and your peers and your faculty members are discussing topics and really going into them. So this allows you to reflect on your own beliefs and values, and at some points kind of be challenged in what you believe and kind of defend what you believe in a sense. And that's a great thing for you to grow as an individual, to be able to, again, critical thinking skills and problem solving with that. Another aspect of a liberal arts school is our faculty. The main focus on our campuses are you, the students. They are there to teach you. All of them are going to be teaching their courses. Typically, you don't have very many teaching assistants, if maybe ever have a teaching assistant in your class. And our faculty, all aside from teaching courses, are also really involved in the community. So they may serve as an advisor for a club or organization that you belong to. You are going to be able to have them maybe as an academic advisor, which is something we do at St. Norbert, where our students work individually every semester to meet with their faculty member to make sure they're staying on track for your 4-year graduation guarantee. And then also they are going to be people you are really going to develop those relationships with. I still kind of keep in contact with my faculty advisor from my 4 years. So that ability that our faculty have of keeping you as the main focus is something that I think is really kind of key to a liberal arts school. Lastly, we put a real big emphasis on outside of the classroom learning, which Brenda is going to get into in a second here, but we talk a lot about study abroad on all of our campuses. This year's a little different than normal, but on an average year, you're going to see a good number of students at small liberal arts schools take the opportunity to learn abroad. It might be with a faculty member in something like a global seminar where they're traveling in a small cohort, or maybe you're spending an entire semester abroad on your own or with a number of students from your school. maybe an institution actually has another location in another country that you can actually go study at as well. So we always encourage this ability to learn and develop yourself as an individual by taking advantage of all of this. Again, it starts in that small classroom setting and taking classes in a number of areas, but then also kind of expanding that into, you know, a study abroad. And now I'll pass it off to Brenda.
Thanks, Kat. So your day and your week is going to look a little bit different in college than it does in high school. In high school, you show up, you know, early in the morning, you're in class all day until mid-afternoon. And in college, there's going to be so much more free time for you. There are going to be days that, you know, you might only have 2 hours of class. There might even be a day that you don't have a class. So in college, it's not just about the classes. In college, we want you to have a chance to be part of a community. And in that community, they're going to get to know you as a person, and they're going to get to know your potential. So at any of our universities, we want you to get involved in a variety of clubs and organizations. For instance, you could get involved in athletics. You can be involved in athletics at the NCAA or the NAIA level. You could be involved in intramural sports. You could be involved at the club level. Or maybe it's theater. That could be on stage, or it could be behind stage. Music is big at our schools, and you could be involved vocally or instrumentally. Lots of us are in areas where there's a lot of outdoor recreation opportunities. So for instance, at St. Mary's, we sit up in the bluffs, and there's lots of opportunities for hiking, cross-country skiing. There are 2 lakes in Winona, so there's opportunities to do water sports. So take advantage of the outdoors around you. There's also job and internship opportunities, or campus ministries where you could do service or worship, and student government. So great things happen when you step out of your comfort zone. I tell students all the time that they need to sign up for anything and everything that sounds interesting at the college that they go to. So sign up for all of it, and then those organizations will let you know when they're doing something. You can always say no, but you might not know what you're missing if you don't give it a try. There's also an opportunity to start your own club if there's not one on the campus that you are interested in. So for instance, at St. Mary's, we've had students that have started Nordic ski clubs. We've had students that have started figure skating. All you need to do is find a couple of students that are also interested in the same thing and grab a faculty member that would actually do the sponsoring of the organization. So we want you to enrich your life and those of your peers and those in the community around you. We want you to be engaged inside and outside of the classroom. We want you joining organizations so that you connect with students that have similar views and aspirations as you, but maybe you might be with students that have different views and aspirations as you do. That only helps you grow individually, because you're exposed to ideas that may be different than your own. Developing leadership skills through involvement. So by getting involved and joining clubs, it provides opportunities for you to learn and utilize those leadership skills. You will grow intellectually, professionally, personally, emotionally, and spiritually. You will do that by getting the experience of belonging to academic clubs, political clubs, fitness clubs, multicultural clubs, religious clubs, special interest clubs like gardening or cooking. So there's all sorts of opportunities for you to get involved in things that maybe have interested you in the past, but maybe are things that you've never tried before. All of these things will help you grow personally, socially, and even career-wise. And a lot of them promote student wellness. There's less competition when getting involved. At a smaller school, there's a lot more opportunities to make a commitment to an organization. And there's a lot less people that are vying for those leadership roles. You can also discover your passions and your talents. So through these opportunities, You as a student are kind of able to discover the truths of the world. You're able to discover the truths about yourself. So becoming a well-rounded person helps you be a successful worker, a lifelong learner, an ethical citizen, and a good neighbor. So now I'm going to give it back to Kat, and she's going to talk about community.
So one thing that's very common on all of our campuses, we all talk about this idea of community. And how does that really start on our campuses? And I would think we'd all agree that because we're small schools, we have the ability to have a really strong residential presence for our students. At St. Norbert, it's 98% of our students living on campus all 4 years. So you have now an instant community of students that have this kind of fear of missing out. If something's going on the weekends, you're joining clubs and organizations, you're getting more invested. It's less likely our students are going home on the weekend. So they're very involved and invested in what's going on. They're joining those clubs and they're creating those opportunities for themselves to be involved and create this ability to kind of become family. I love talking about how your friends on your campus truly become your family. You will develop lifelong friends. These are the people that are going to stand up in your wedding with you, that are going to be there for the bad times, there for the good times. And it all starts, your freshman year and all through your 4 years. You are going to have traditions that bring all of these college campuses together. We've listed a few, and I'll kind of talk about some in a second too. But when you're on campus with these traditions, it's something that the faculty, the staff, as well as students are always looking for the yearly activity that's coming up. For example, at St. Norbert, our week of welcome's a lot of fun. You see our students touching that victory bell. That is a way of our students being welcome to campus, but it's also that good luck charm that we have for our students coming in for their first year of school. And then by the time you're a senior and graduating, you're taking a picture with Abbott Pennings in your graduation, your cap and gown. So those are things that we know our students really look forward to. Every school has traditions, and it really bonds the students and faculty together and really, again, kind of gets that community going. You are really going to develop those relationships with your faculty. I know I mentioned it before with being in a small classroom setting, you get to know your faculty through that and having them serve as advisors. But they're also going to be people that you're going to stay in touch with after you graduate. I know I mentioned my advisor, and we still send Christmas cards to each other. These faculty may have you over for dinner with their families during the school year, especially if you're in one of those smaller majors on a campus. They definitely have the ability to bring that whole class to their house and get to know you as a student. They're truly invested in your success, and that's something that I think is really important in that community. Lastly, those strong ties with alumni, living together, growing your friendships and becoming, lifelong friends. And those traditions that you have together are things and memories that you remember for the rest of your life. I love still getting together with my friends from St. Norbert and, talking about things like picking, which is something that's particular for when you belong to a club or organization on one of our campuses, on our campus. So there's things that our students do that, again, really tie that along. Even when you graduate, and with none of us actually being located here in Illinois, all of our campuses are outside, as we've heard, from Iowa and Minnesota and Indiana and Wisconsin. We all have very strong alumni ties in Illinois. So even when you leave campus, those roots are still remaining very strong with you here. That can really lead to great opportunities for you for jobs down the road, because you're going to have the ability to kind of get into a career path and have someone who maybe is going to pass your resume along. So we may be small in number, but we definitely have a really strong reach after graduation too. Now I'm going to turn it over to Jill.
Thanks, Kat. So one thing that every single one of our institutions has in common is that our students don't just talk about helping others and giving back to the communities surrounding their campuses. They give their time, contribute their talents, and apply what they've learned in the classroom about serving others, because it's a driving element of what our institutions are and what we believe in. In addition to being extremely helpful for our surrounding communities, service learning opportunities do help students develop new skills and positive attitudes towards others. Not only do we see and respect the impact our students make on the community around us through these opportunities, we see them succeed in the classroom because they're motivated to learn and have a real purpose for what they do, both inside and outside of the classroom setting. As demonstrated by the list of service learning opportunities on this slide at each of our institutions, and we could only list a few, I would imagine that for all of our schools, that list could go on and on and on. All of these activities, though, are extremely diverse. One example of this is the interprofessional health clinic that we have at St. Ambrose University. This clinic provides student-led healthcare services to underserved populations within the Quad Cities area. So students from our occupational therapy, nursing, physical therapy, social work, and speech pathology programs provide services for clients at no cost. By providing these services at no cost to those who are underserved, our students and faculty are helping to improve the health and wellness of our community. Students are learning the value of service to community that will carry into their professional practice upon graduation. Next slide, please, Kat. So when evaluating all of your college options, knowing that the four of us are private institutions, it's very important to research both total cost and overall value at each of the institutions you are considering for your post-secondary studies. There's always been a rather large misconception that private colleges are unaffordable because of their high, what we like to call sticker prices. Keep in mind that there's a big difference between a school sticker price and what your actual out-of-pocket cost will be. Private colleges do work closely with students to help make paying for your degree possible through scholarships, grants, work-study programs, and more. Quite often, students will find that out-of-pocket costs at private institutions are comparable to those at in-state public institutions because of the financial aid support that we are able to provide. Additionally, and to just reinforce what Kat had explained earlier, it's crucial to consider the overall value, both personal and financial, of a private liberal arts education. Some of those examples are graduates' abilities to create and think innovatively, development of people, communication, analytical problem solving, and critical thinking skills. And a liberal arts degree just allows you to take on anything, not just what you went to school to study. How do we help make it affordable? There are a number of different financial aid supports, and some of those are listed here. Strong merit-based scholarships. So these are scholarships that a lot of private institutions offer automatically upon being admitted to their school. Typically, they are based upon your high school GPA, a test score, an ACT or SAT score, could be based upon class rank, could be based upon a number of other factors as well, such as potentially an interview, an essay, a resume, and community involvement. Catholic high school scholarships, a lot of Catholic institutions will offer these for students coming either from a Catholic high school, from a particular diocese, if they're Catholic and are coming from a diocese located near that institution. And that can certainly vary from school to school, so that is certainly not something that's automatic at every Catholic institution, but certainly something you should ask about if you are looking at a number of Catholic schools. Talent-based scholarships. So this can range from an athletic scholarship to a fine arts scholarship, and as many of you know, at liberal arts schools, we encourage our students to pursue their passions in the arts, art, music, theater, and a lot of times there are scholarships available for those, even if you're not an art, music, or theater major. Visit and book scholarships are examples that a lot of schools are starting to award students for coming to visit campus, whether that's virtually or in person. Book scholarships as well can be tied to those visit scholarships. alumni scholarships if your mother or father graduated from a particular institution. Typically, there will be some sort of alumni scholarship, perhaps even if a grandparent or an aunt or uncle, some of those ties go pretty far to qualify for the alumni scholarship, while sometimes they have to be, you know, direct lineage, mom or dad. But again, definitely something to check with each institution on. Diversity scholarships. So for those students who indicate any sort of diversity on their application for admission, these can either be automatic scholarships or awarded on a case-by-case basis based upon diversity. And then of course, that is all combined with need-based aid that can be awarded at the institutional level or at the federal level based upon information we receive from the FAFSA. So with that, I will turn it over to Brenda from St. Mary's.
So now we're going to give you a little bit of an overview of each of our schools, just so you kind of know what we're all about. So I'm with St. Mary's, University of Minnesota. We're located in Winona, Minnesota, which is way down in the southeast corner of the state. So from the Chicago area, we're probably about a 4 to 5.5 hour drive, depending on where you would live in Chicago. And then obviously, you know, if you're in other areas of Illinois, it would be relevant to that. So in the southeast part of Minnesota, the landscape is much different than it is where you live in Illinois. The Winona is actually located on the Mississippi River, and there's really high bluffs that line the Mississippi River. St. Mary's actually sits up in those bluffs. So we are kind of on the edge of town a little bit. We are a self-contained campus. So when you pull into campus, you actually pull into an entrance, and the campus is very defined. So we own about 450 acres. About 100 acres of that are the actual academic buildings, residence halls, athletic playing fields. But then we own 350 acres up in the bluffs. So as I had mentioned earlier, there's a lot of opportunity for outdoor recreation. So we have actual paved paths that are up in the bluffs that are lit. So you can actually hike up there. We have beautifully groomed cross-country ski trails. We have a trout stream that runs through campus. We actually have an 18-hole disc golf course on campus. So I would say in Winona, there is just so many opportunities to do things outside. I know that, you know, lots of times students will say, well, it's Minnesota and it's cold, but we honestly take advantage of the outdoors. Kids will sled, they build bonfires. So lots and lots of opportunities to do things outside. Within the town of Winona, there's also a public institution. Winona State is in the town of Winona, and then we have a technical college in Winona. So the population of Winona is about 28,000, but with students, that brings in about another 11,000 people. So actually the students make up a fourth to about a third of the population of Winona. So it really is a campus town. It is a town that that caters to college kids. So there's lots of opportunities for things to do for college kids. So we're a campus of about 1,100 undergraduate students. We do not have any graduate programs on our campus. Those are all on our campus in the Twin Cities. So about a few more girls than guys, but ratio-wise, it's almost even. 100% of professors teach our classes. We don't have any TAs. Like I said, we don't even have any graduate students on our campus. And about a third of our students are student athletes. So that's just a little snapshot of what St. Mary's, University of Minnesota is all about. And now I'll let you hear about St. Norbert.
Hi again. Again, Catherine Hankamp from St. Norbert College. I am an alum of the school, so I always love getting a chance to talk a little bit about our campus because I just so much enjoyed my time as a student, and obviously, like Cara, never really left in a sense, except I live and work in here in Illinois. So St. Norbert's located in De Pere, Wisconsin. You can see we're right up on the water. So we're on the Fox River. We're just 3 hours north of Chicago, and it's really the best of both worlds for students. And really one of the main reasons why I personally chose to go to St. Norbert was its location. So you are not in the middle of nowhere, but at the same time, you are not right in a city. We have Green Bay, the third largest city in Wisconsin, just 10 minutes from campus. So students have the accessibility for some really great internship opportunities, as well as just things to do on the weekend. And there's really no competition for these because we're one of 2 schools in the area. So a great location for our students. And you're in a quiet, suburban, safe area right on the water. And our students, you know, like Brenda was saying with her campus, our students take advantage of the water with things like wakeboard, water ski team and crew, broom ball. They don't really allow this much anymore, but broom ball on the water when it's frozen. It's a lot of fun to be up on campus. There's about 2,000 students that call our campus home. And like I've said before, we're 98% residential. So really big with that campus community that we do have. Something that definitely makes us pretty unique is we are a Norbertine college. The Norbertines are a sect of the Catholic religion, and the Norbertines are really well known for their 2 values of radical hospitality and communio. And both of those really, I say, you do have to really experience to know what I'm talking about, but it's a campus that is very welcoming for all students on campus, like we've kind of touched upon already. But that just really that community aspect of it. Our students are very heavily involved in service, although it's not a requirement. Over 90% of our students are doing some sort of service during their 4 years, so we do see that. I love talking about our renovations to campus. This is what I think really kind of has changed. I left it in better condition than it was when I was there. So over the past 10 years, we've actually completed $150 million in renovations to our campus. Everything from athletic facilities, so our brand new indoor athletic facility where we've added a swimming pool. So now men's and women's swimming and diving have been added to campus. And then we also did our cafeteria. We're ranked #1 in Wisconsin for best college campus food and #4 in the nation. So you want to be well fed, and we definitely have that on campus for you. But one of our biggest highlights is our science facility. So about 4 years ago, or 6 years ago, I should say, we opened our Gail Mulva Science Center. It's a $45 million facility that we renovated on campus. And as a part of that, we partnered with the Medical College of Wisconsin. So they were looking for a place to have a satellite campus near Green Bay, and they chose our campus. We built this new facility that is extremely state-of-the-art. And now we're the only small liberal arts college in the country with a medical school right on campus. So if you are thinking of the sciences, you do have the ability to take classes with professors that teach not only at the undergraduate level, but some of our professors teach at the Medical College of Wisconsin, which is right on campus in your same science building. So really strong in those areas. There's over 80 majors to choose from. So that's not, obviously science isn't it. There's a lot of options for you. And with all majors, again, our focus is really trying to get you to graduate in 4 years. Definitely would encourage you to come up and visit campus if you feel safe. It is a beautiful area. This is my favorite time to be up on campus in the fall, but I hope you can kind of come up some other time. Now I will turn it over to Cara for a little bit about St. Mary's.
Hello again, everyone. So again, my name is Cara Firestein, and I've been with St. Mary's as an admission counselor for 4 years. I do work with most of the students from the state of Illinois, so the west suburbs of Chicago, central and southern Illinois, and the Rockford area too. So more than likely, if you're from Illinois, I am your admission counselor. But St. Mary's College, just a little bit about us. So we were founded in 1844 by the Sisters of the Holy Cross, who came over from Le Mans, France. This building that you see here on the screen is actually Le Mans Hall, and you'd understand why it is called Le Mans. But imagine this building during all 4 seasons. We are located just about 2 hours from the suburbs of Chicago, and it's a really great distance from Illinois. As you can see here, we're about 1,600 students at the undergraduate level. And if you aren't familiar with St. Mary's, we are a women's college, at the undergraduate level. We have 4 graduate programs that are co-ed, but we are primarily undergraduate students. Of those 1,600 undergraduate students, about 68% of them are from outside the state of Indiana. And 23% of our undergraduate student population is from the state of Illinois as well. So if you were to come to St. Mary's from Illinois, you certainly would not be the only one. We have over 60 academic programs to choose from at St. Mary's. Some of our most popular are nursing, education, business, psychology, biology, and communication studies. In terms of our most unique majors, we have a dual engineering degree that allows our students to get 2 degrees in 5 years, one from St. Mary's College and one from the University of Notre Dame. We have a speech and language pathology major as well at the undergraduate and the graduate level, where we actually have a clinic on our campus. And then also our student design major is one of our most unique too. Our average class size at St. Mary's is about 16 students, so you really are going to get that personalized attention in the classroom, as you will with all 4 of our institutions. But St. Mary's, we really do cater to the way that women learn best, and studies show that that is through talking. So we're primarily discussion-based, small class sizes at St. Mary's. We also do have a big emphasis on study abroad. Just about 50% of our students actually do study abroad during their time at St. Mary's. So I think this reflects the ease at which we allow our students to study abroad. Even our nurses can study abroad at St. Mary's. And we work with our students very closely to ensure that they are able to really pursue those passions abroad as well. And then finally, we have over 500 clubs and activities across the tri-campus community. Now, what is the tri-campus community? So St. Mary's College being located in Notre Dame, Indiana, if you're not familiar with us, we are truly just across the street from the University of Notre Dame and next door to Holy Cross College, which really does open up hundreds of opportunities for our students in terms of clubs and organizations. Our students can actually join clubs and activities on the other campuses. They can take classes, go to sporting events and sit in the student section, and also social events too. So our students at St. Mary's truly have the best of both worlds. They have the small, supportive, empowering women's college environment at St. Mary's, and then just across the street and next door, they have extensions of the community with the tri-campus community. So that's just a little bit about St. Mary's, but I hope that I will get to know some of you throughout your college search process. I'll pass it over to Jill.
Thank you, Cara. Again, I am Jill Hall-Ubetz, and I am a senior admissions counselor at St. Ambrose, though I am located here in the Chicago suburbs and work with students from the southern Chicago suburbs, Cook County, and then all of the state of Indiana. So if you're familiar with the Quad Cities area, if you're an Illinois resident, the Quad Cities area is made up of 3 cities on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River and 2 cities on the Iowa side of the Mississippi. And that is where St. Ambrose is located. We are located in Davenport, Iowa, which is one of the Quad Cities, about 2 hours and 45 minutes from Chicago proper. So certainly give or take a few minutes depending on where you're coming from in the Chicago area, but definitely less than 3 hours for most of our students. We are a private Catholic comprehensive university, comprehensive in that we offer bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and doctoral degree programs. And any of our 60+ undergraduate majors can also be easily turned into minors and credentials as well. We are just over 3,000 students total enrollment on campus. 2,300 of those students are in their first 4 years of study, while about 700 students are in our graduate programs on campus. Our student to faculty ratio is about 12:1, and as everybody has mentioned, again, small class sizes, smaller learning environments, closer ties with your faculty, opportunities for internships and research from day one. Over 80 clubs and organizations. Athletics, we are part of the NAIA for athletics. New sports for next year would include men's wrestling and indoor marching arts. And then some of our top major programs include health sciences, business, criminal justice, education, and engineering. We are open for in-person visits, and we also have a number of virtual visit opportunities. So I encourage you to check out our website at www.sau.edu for all things St. Ambrose. So Kat, back to you again.
Just quick, because I know we got to wrap it up. We thought we'd throw up here our contact information. We hope you have a chance to come and learn a little bit more about our schools, but feel free to take a picture of this and contact us anytime. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, everyone. Really quickly before you go, as you close the window this evening, there will be a quick 4-question survey that pops up. We'd love to hear your feedback about these presentations and other presentations that you attend. Make sure that you're sharing that with us. Lastly, as a quick reminder, IACAC.org, that's IACAC.org, where you'll be able to find the rest of the remaining sessions through the end of next week, and the recording of this session specifically, which will be available in about a week. Presenters, great job. You all did a wonderful presentation this evening. So thanks so much for everybody for watching, and we will see you soon. Thanks.